Hi, it's Jackie here from the LGFA, and I'm very happy to be joined by the one and only, the legend, Briege Corkery from County Cork. And the reason we have Briege on is that tomorrow night she's going to be the subject of Laochra Gael on the brilliant TG4 series. So we said, let's have a chat about it. So how are you, Briege?
Good, Jackie. How are you?
How is the form? How are the kids, and how is family life, and how is the sleep and all of that stuff? How are you getting on?
Here, yeah, things are good. Do you know now? The lads, they're quite enough. We don't know where they came from. Um, so yeah, no, things are good now. Cows are finished calving. To be honest, I had a grand handy spring this year. COVID, there's positives in COVID for everyone. So we had two great little helpers. I shouldn't call them helpers. Two great lads going to school. They were off there the last couple of weeks, so they've been helping out since January. So they've been mighty. So I'm still on my respite from the yard thanks to COVID. So everything has a positive, I suppose.
Well, I'd say this time of the year on a farm must be lovely with the that spring feeling and the new arrivals.
Yeah, I suppose since the weather's got better, the it's warmer, it's not as wet. You definitely enjoy it more. It's nice to walk away up to the parlour there to the lads and say hello. And Tadhgie jumps in with the calves, and here he be covered in sugar there most of the time. But sure, look, tis grand. That's all about learning, and tis good crack for them. Yeah.
It's a lovely environment to bring kids up in because we lived in a town, and no offense to anybody that lives in a town, Breeze, but we're living in the countryside now because it's where I was brought up and it's the rural way of life. And we don't have a farm, right? But we have loads of fields around, and they can go and get dirty or whatever they want to do, or they have a sand pit out the back and all this kind of stuff. That's just the way we felt, And again, not if you're living in a town, fantastic. I love towns myself, but that's just the way it was for us.
Yeah, I like. I suppose I love country living, and there's just such freedom to it. Like you might only have a small plot where your house is situated, but you still have loads of fields you can walk around and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and it's lovely. And just the yard for Tadhgie we've hens there now at the moment, and Tadhgie's job in the morning is to go up and collect the eggs from the hen coop,
Lovely.
and he might spend an hour inside with the hens, which is grand. It gives us we get to eat the breakfast in peace and quiet. So, yeah, it's nice to have the space to do that, I suppose. And I know you can still do that in your garden, but you don't really have the space as much. So it's lovely to have that.
And you have a little helper there today as well. Is it your nephew?
I
Your nephew's with you?
I do. I always have someone with me. So yeah, my little nephew's here as well. So he's keeping Tiggy entertained, and they're up to no good, I'm sure.
I remember last year we had you on with Neve Kindlin, and we were looking back on Cork Monaghan games in the past, and I was asking you, I said, Breeze, will you go back playing a bit of club now this year? And you kind of had a little sparkle in the eye, but sure, I didn't know at the time. You only found out you were expecting at the time number two was on the way.
Yeah, I suppose. Look, sure. I don't really say much about anything, and yeah. So Noni came along in October, and sure, look, she's very good so far, so good, and it is great to have the company and stuff like that. So it is
Brilliant, you were making me jealous
keeping
there.
us busy.
You were making me jealous there, telling me before we started recording that she's sleeping till 10 o'clock, which is absolutely fantastic for you. So well done. She's obviously
Yeah,
she's taken to the country air as well.
she is. She's as long as she sleeps, I sleep. So 10 o'clock was a good sleep in yesterday morning, so it was nice.
Good stuff. Come here. The show tomorrow evening, Breeze. What can we look forward to?
Oh God, I suppose maybe embarrassing myself, maybe more than anything. Look, I suppose, look, when I just wanted it to be as honest as possible, and so I just, any question that was thrown at me, I answered it as honestly as possible, and I suppose that's always what I go by. That you have to honesty is what you have to give out all the time, and I suppose there's a couple of stories that are in it are embarrassing for me. But it's lovely to look back at, or it's lovely to, I suppose, get the opportunity to, I suppose, thank everyone that I've been involved with, and that has trained me and that I played with, and it gave me that opportunity to say thanks to everyone, and I just hope I give everyone justice on the show that I played with and stuff like that, and that's kind of the main thing, really.
What I'm looking forward to is a raw, powerful piece, a bit like the way you played yourself. That rawness, that honesty. You talk about honesty, Breach. That summed up the way you played. You just never took a step back, and once you were in there, it was 100%. You couldn't. There was never any other way with your Briege. It was just bang on all the time.
Yeah, I suppose I'm the same in everything. Like, if I'm in it, I'm in it, and I'll do it to the best of my ability. And if I don't enjoy it, then I have to walk away from it. Or I've done that with I suppose a couple of my jobs that I've had in the past. I when I was in them, I did it to the best of my ability, and when I just got tired of them, or they just didn't suit me, I just felt, I suppose it was like college. I left college early because it didn't suit me. It and the crack was too much, I suppose, a lot of the time. But just I do what I think is best for me, and when I'm in it, I'll give it everything. And once I'm ready to leave on, I'll move on then as well. So
And,
that's
and
the same in sport as well.
where are you work wise now, Briege? Is the farm your full time gig now, or are you going back to something, or what's the situation with you?
So I'm with Bank of Ireland.
Yes.
So I'm finished up mat leave there now, and I'll be going back to Bank of Ireland.
Okay.
So it'll be grand to get back. I'm looking forward to getting back to work. I don't think I was made for home. Yeah, I think as well with COVID, because you can't go anywhere or anything like that, and you're kind of, I think that's probably why I'm looking forward to going back even more, just to, I suppose, I like to think that even though I would be kind of shy, I'm still quite sociable. I like to get out and meet people, so that's why I'm definitely looking forward to going back to work.
Yeah, I have a wife here. Very same, Briege.
Yeah,
Can't wait to get back to the office environment. It's a funny thing, isn't it? She's sick of
yeah,
looking at
yeah,
me anyway. I'm blaming myself for that anyway. So there you go.
yeah.
Come here to me. The story we've been seeing little snippets coming out. The Skittles and the Mars bar.
Oh yeah. I know, yeah, sure. I suppose I'm not the full Bob at all, I suppose. But I know it, so it's half the battle. Yeah, sure. I suppose. Look, everyone knows I had a sweet tooth. And I was just always have sweets and stuff on me. So yeah, I'd throw them in my skirt, or I'd have them down my sock or something like that. And I think when I was younger, it was just maybe just this thing I did, and I didn't really mind what people thought about it. I'd say the girls just get a good laugh off me, all right. And then they'd be happy out if I was to share with them. So it was good. Yeah.
Come here. I'm just thinking of a Mars bar now. If I shoved a Mars bar down a sock or down somewhere else, would it not be would it not be melted?
Oh, but sure, we could lick it off the packet. It'd be fine.
I wouldn't put it past you. I tell you that. Come here to me. Have you seen the final edit of the show, Briege? Or are you steering clear?
No, I haven't seen it, and yeah, I'm not going to watch it. So
No, you're not going to watch the show.
no. I suppose. Look, I've never looked back in matches. The only time I've ever seen matches is coming down after the All Irelands on the bus or something like that. That'd be the football ones. I don't know, have I ever even watched back at Camogie All Ireland, because they were never really shown to us, I suppose.
Okay.
If they were on there, I might give an odd look at it and walk. As soon as I come on the ball, I walk away from the television. So
Would yourself
I
and
don't know.
Dearman not sit down now and watch it some night?
Dearwood can sit down and watch it. I'm doing a challenge at the moment for Cree Foundation. I must do 10 kilometers, so 10-kilometer run. So that'll be my job now.
Tell me more about that fundraiser, Briege, while we have you. How can people get involved or donate?
Oh, it was just Cree had asked me to do a video for it's the Couch to Wild Atlantic Way kind of thing, and you walk a coastline from Cork to Donegal, so you pick a coastline. So I picked the Galway coastline, and I've 312 kilometers to do, but I'm nowhere near halfway yet, and I've only you do it in 6 weeks. I'm nowhere near halfway, and I've only 3 weeks left, so I must up the ante a small bit. So
You'll be flying it. Oh, jeez, you'll be absolutely
yeah.
flying. Come here to me. Before I let you go, and we're really looking forward to seeing the show tomorrow night. Well, we are anyway. I don't know about you. You're probably going to steer clear, as you say. Can I ask you before you go? And I haven't been chatting to you for a while. Obviously, Eamon will feature along the way, Briege, for obvious reasons. How have you been since all of that? Hello, young man. How are you? How are you, bud? So we had, who did we have on? We had Angela, Elaine, and Nullig. Not too long after Eamon's passing, Briege. How did it hit you when you heard the news?
do you know, it's very sad. It still is. Even, you know, when I see pictures of him, or when, you know, we talk about him, you know, it's kind of hard to believe he's not with us anymore. Um, but you know, I suppose that's life. But I suppose we've had wonderful memories of him and with him. And you know, that's what, like, as players who had, you know, spent a bit of time with him, would think, not to mind what his family are going through. But you know, he was just such a good man, and he did so well for so many people. Um, you know, you'd be very sad that you can't ring him, or, you know, I get quite teary when I see pictures of him. You know, that I suppose it's the end of an era, and it's you know, he was just wonderful to us, and all the management were, and we've very fond memories of him, and it's
Absolutely.
great to have those memories of a great man.
Yeah, it's a lovely way of putting it, Brian. I can see your face lights up when you talk about him. Just that those memories are still so vivid, which I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, like, you know, I'd say Eamon, we used to have a right laugh with Eamon. He's you know, he used to always be mocking me and stuff like that. Or, like, if he was talking to me, he'd be like, all right, Corkery boy. And I'm like, all right, Eamon. So it was like we were just one of the lads to him. And, you know, that was great, that he was just, we were so, you know, we were just, everything was just so normal. And, you know, he was so good to us, but yet, you know, very, like, everything was so normal with him. And it was nice to have that. And he used to have good banter off all of us. And, you know, what I think is amazing is, like, every girl seems to have their own funny story with
Yeah.
him, good story with him, you know. And it's lovely for every player to have that, you know. It just shows how equally he treated everyone, and be it male or female, it didn't matter, young or old. He just had that way with people, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, he's sadly missed and will be for generations to come, Briege. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And your
yeah.
two lives were so intertwined as well, so I'm looking forward to that element of the show as well tomorrow night. Briege Corkery, you have your hands more than full there, right? So I'm going to let you
Yeah.
skip off. Look, I always love catching up with you. And we'll see on the other side of all of this real soon. We might have some play date down the line. You never know what we might do
Yes,
in
yeah, that's
time.
exactly. Cork
Um,
is a grand place.
yeah, well, listen, we've been down many times. We have we've people we're mad to catch up with down there as well. So in the meantime, Briege, look after yourself. Regards to all there.
Lovely. Thanks very much, Jackie. Cheers.
Cheers,
Thanks.
Briege.